Time has a curious way of folding in on itself. Like a well-worn map tucked in a glove compartment, waiting to show you where you've been, just when you need to remember the way. It was a Tuesday afternoon in late May, the kind where sunlight slants through the kitchen window just so, turning dust motes into tiny dancing stars. I was at the old oak table, the one my father sanded smooth back in '58, nursing a cup of chamomile tea. My granddaughter, Alara, 16, all bright eyes, and that restless energy only the young possess, sat across from me. She had her phone propped up, recording. There was a determined set to her jaw, the same one her mother had when she was solving a puzzle. She began leaning forward. I have a school project about the 1970s. Real life, not what movies show. Start with disco. She grinned, expecting tales of glitter balls and bell-bottoms. I chuckled, the sound like gravel in a tin pail. Disco? Oh, honeybee, disco was Saturday night glitter for some folks. But Monday morning was about survival. About counting pennies like precious stones. I saw her eyes flicker, that Gen Z curiosity meeting my boomer reality head-on. Tell you what, ask me anything about that decade. The real stuff. Okay, she scrolled on her phone. What did gas cost back then? Ah, there it was. The question that would bridge our worlds. I closed my eyes. Not to remember the number, that was etched in my bones, but to feel it. To smell the tang of leaded gasoline, feel the cracked vinyl of the driver's seat in my first car, that beat-up '71 Chevy Nova. To hear the clink, clink, clink of coins dropping into the pump at Hank's Gulf Station on Elm Street. Hank, bless him, always had a smear of grease on his cheek and a pack of juicy fruit gum for kids. Summer of '77, I said, my voice low, painting the picture for her. Hot. So hot the asphalt on Main Street shimmered like a mirage. I was driving home from my shift at the textile mill, sweat sticking my shirt to the seat, pulled into Hank's. Needed a fill-up. Regular, unleaded. I paused, meeting Alara's bright, expectant gaze. Was 63 cents a gallon. Her reaction wasn't just surprise. It was pure, unvarnished shock. Her phone wobbled. 63 cents? The word exploded out of her, high-pitched with disbelief. That's impossible. It's over. $5 and now. How did you live? Her shock mirrored my own, but for a different reason. Not at the price, but at the innocence of her disbelief. It was a window flung open between generations. We lived, Alara, I said softly, reaching across the table to pat her hand, the skin of mine like old leather against her smooth youth. But it wasn't easy magic. 63 cents. Sounds like a dream now, doesn't it? But back then, pulling into Hank's station felt like a small heart attack every time. See, I was making $3.10 an hour at the mill, working the looms. Good union job, people said. Steady. Maggie, your grandma, rest her soul, was home with your mom. Just a baby then. We had that little bungalow on Sycamore, the one with the blue shutters your mama loved. Mortgage payment? $187 a month. Seemed like a mountain. Filling that Nova's tank? 10 gallons cost me $6.30. That was 2 hours of my life, Alara. 2 hours of the roar of those looms, the dust in my lungs, the sweat stinging my eyes. Just poured into that tank. Felt like pouring my time straight onto the pavement. I remembered the weight of it, the careful calculation. Driving wasn't freedom back then. Not like kids think. It was necessity. It was getting to work, getting Maggie to the doctor when she had that bad flu winter of '78, getting groceries from Piggly Wiggly. Every mile had a cost you felt right down to your bones. "But Grampy?" she whispered, her voice hushed now, the phone forgotten. "How did you not panic? How did you make it work?" That was the question, wasn't it? Not about the price, but about the how. The quiet resilience. "Community, honeybee," I said, the word warm and solid in my mouth. "And patience. Things folks today forget the taste of. Take Hank. He saw me coming in every Friday, looking weary. Knew I was stretching pennies till they screamed. One Friday, I pulled in, dreading the pump. "Evening, Charlie," Hank called out, wiping his hands on a rag. "Got a deal for you. Got some overstock on regular. 59 cents today only." 59? Felt like I'd won the lottery. I smiled, remembering Hank's wink. There was no overstock, just kindness disguised as commerce. He knew. Folks looked out for each other, knew the weight of $1, and patience. I sighed, looking out the window at the old maple tree I planted when Alara's mother was born. We saved, not for fancy vacations or the latest gadget, for tires when the Nova's tread wore thin, for a new washing machine when ours finally rattled its last. We saved in a mason jar on top of the icebox, coins, dollar bills. Took months, sometimes years. You learned the value of waiting, the sweetness of something earned slow. We fixed things, Alara, didn't just toss them out. My neighbor, Old Man Henderson, could fix anything with wheels or wires. Taught me how to change the oil, patch a radiator hose, rewire a lamp. Maggie could darn a sock so fine you couldn't tell where the hole was. We traded skills. I helped Henderson paint his porch. He fixed my leaky faucet. Maggie's famous apple pie bought us a haircut from Betty down the street, who ran her salon out of the sunroom. Saturday nights weren't about disco clubs for us, not usually. They were about porch-sittin. Folks would wander over. Ben from down the street with his harmonica. Mrs. Gable with her stories about growing up during the Depression. Now, that put our gas prices in perspective. We'd share a pitcher of sweet tea Maggie made, maybe some saltines and pimento cheese. Talked about the weather, the price of feed corn, the crazy thing Mayor Jenkins said at the town council meeting. Kids chased fireflies in the yard. Simple, rich. Alara was silent for a long moment. The shock had completely melted away, replaced by a deep, thoughtful wonder. So, it wasn't cheaper. It was just different hard? Exactly, sweet pea. I nodded, feeling a lump rise in my throat. Every generation has its mountains to climb. Ours was making $1 stretch like taffy on a hot day, worrying if the mill would lay off, praying a doctor's visit wouldn't wipe out that mason jar. Yours? Well, I see it. The world spins faster. The price tags are bigger. The worries feel heavier, sometimes spread out on screens for everyone to see. But that day, talking to Alara about 63-cent gas, it wasn't about the number. It was about the thread that connects her world to mine. Her shock was real. My memory was real. And in that space between us, something powerful happened. Understanding, not just of prices, but of the weight people carry in their time. See, Maggie and I, we learned the deep down truth back then. Living paycheck to paycheck, fixing what was broken, sharing what little we had. Value isn't just in the dollar amount. It's in the hands that earn it. It's in the neighbor who knocks with a spare tomato from his garden. It's in the patience to save for what matters. It's in the quiet strength of facing your mountain, whatever shape it takes, and knowing you don't climb it alone. Alara asked me later, "Were you scared, Grampy?" I took a slow breath, the scent of chamomile and old wood filling the air. I told her the truth. Every day, honeybee, but scared keeps you careful. And love for your family, your home, your neighbor, that keeps you going. That's the fuel that never runs out, no matter what the pump says. That conversation, it became more than a school project. It became a bridge. Alara started asking different questions, not just about prices, but about Maggie, about how we met at the county fair dance. No disco ball, just a twangy country band and lemonade. About old man Henderson teaching me to whittle. About the time the Nova broke down in a blizzard, and how Sheriff Dawes found us and brought us hot cocoa from the diner. She saw the 1970s not as dates in a textbook, but as real life, our life, full of small anxieties and smaller triumphs, full of darning socks and saving dimes and sharing laughter on a porch as the fireflies came out. She saw the people, Hank, Henderson, Maggie, me, not statistics, not boomers, just folks doing their best with what they had, leaning on each other, finding joy in the cracks. And that, I think, is the gift hidden inside these memories we carry. It's not about longing for cheaper gas or simpler times. Times weren't simpler. Hearts just knew what to hold on to tighter. It's about recognizing the same human spirit, the worry, the hope, the love, the grit, beating in every generation's chest. It's about showing our Alaras that their mountains, though different, can be climbed with the same tools. Patience learned from waiting, strength forged in necessity, and a warmth kindled by community. So now, when I unfold that old map, I don't just see roads. I see Hank's grease-stained smile. I hear Maggie humming as she darned socks by lamplight. I feel the weight of those coins in the mason jar, and I see Alara's eyes, wide with the shock of understanding, building that bridge between her world and mine. One honest question, one shared memory at a time. The past isn't just a place we visit, friends. It's the ground we stand on. What memories are you unfolding today? We'd be honored to hear your story. Share a memory that shaped you in the comments below.